There she is. She's just a little shy. We're gonna have to try and coax her out. Get a better look at her. Here she comes. Star of the hour. Hi there. They did a great job on that. Okay, so I do things a little differently around here. A lot of people are like, cut to the chase, just tell me about the perks and the power. I get a little more in depth. I like to read the lore and the backstory of the characters, so we're going to start off with that here now. Here's your character info for the Onryō. A powerful and lethal Onryō, Sadako Yamamura, was the daughter of a famed seer from Izu Oshima, Japan. Her mother left many questions unanswered. In her hometown, sailors disliked the way her mother would spend days on the beach, her eyes fixed on the foaming waves of the sea. Some said, "Frolic in brine, goblins be thine. If you keep playing in the water, the monster will come for you." 9 months later, Sadako was born. As a child, her immense powers seemed impossible to control and flared in anger. This became apparent when she was unable to control her rage during a public demonstration of her mother's powers. When a journalist called her mother a fraud, Sadako's powers surged and the journalist collapsed on the floor, struck dead. Then everything went wrong. Her mother passed away, and shortly after, Sadako was lured to an old, crumbling well. As she leaned over the rim, a long shadow fell over her. She turned, and a sudden jolt of pain hit her over the head, cracking it open. Her vision dimmed, and her mind swirled into unconsciousness. She felt 2 hands pushing her over the rim. Pain exploded in her skull as she hit the cold ground. A grinding noise came from above, and the well darkened, all light obscured like a midday eclipse. Every inch of her body screamed in pain. Looking up, she saw the only way out. She dug her nails into the muddy ground and slowly crawled toward the cobbled wall. She gripped the stones to climb, but had neither hold nor strength, and each time she clawed up a few inches, her nails slid against the wet wall, and she slipped down. Her fingers gushed with blood as the coarse cobblestones tore off her nails and lacerated the flesh underneath. And yet she tried, again and again. Decades later, the meadow became a resort, and a log cabin was built above the well. When a visitor rented the cabin, Sadako found an opportunity for revenge. She summoned all her Nensha power and projected a terrible curse on a videotape that killed its viewer after 7 days. Her wrath was like the tides of a stormy sea, violent and unforgiving. As she plunged into a fury, a dark fog coiled at her feet. The sound of crashing waves echoed through the old stone well. Suddenly, a tidal surge came crashing down on the cabin's walls, wrecking its logs into a torrent of mud and filth. The black current flooded the well underneath and swallowed Sadako at once. And when she opened her eyes, she stood on a desolate beach facing a vast, stormy ocean. A thick black fog caressed the water's surface. Sadako walked into a coming wave and slowly disappeared in the opaque fog. So her attributes here, her speed is 4.6 meters per second. Most killers are that speed if they aren't a ranged killer generally. Some people refer to this as the 115% speed killers, with the survivors being 100% base at 4 meters per second. And then the killers are 15% faster, so they call it 115% speed. But it's more accurate to use the meters per second. She has a pretty large terror radius at 32 meters, and she's classified as short for the height here. She's the only one that's classified that way. If you go through them all, even like the Hag, Freddy, Legions, some of those smaller killers are all marked as average. She's the only one classified as short. Whether that means we've come up with a new classification and we'll see other killers in the future who will have this short category, I don't know. Maybe don't read too much into it. And so here we'll read about her power first, the Deluge of Fear. Through the medium of a mysterious videotape, Sadako spreads her curse to unwitting viewers and causes their untimely deaths. Before manifesting, the Onryō gains the undetectable status effect and is invisible to survivors, but becomes intermittently visible when within 32 meters of them. She has a special ability called Manifestation. The Onryō must physically manifest to attack survivors. Press and hold the power button to manifest into material form in your current position. For a brief duration after manifesting, the Onryō will continue to be intermittently visible to survivors when within 32 meters. And afterwards, she'll be fully visible within 32 meters for as long as she remains manifested. So manifested would be the form that you want to be in to use your attack, your curse, your telekinetic curse power on them, to just like your M1 as a killer, your weapon. She psychically strikes at people. The Onryō can demanifest by pressing and holding the power button. And then we have the special ability of projection. The Onryō can also take material form by projecting herself through a TV. Press the ability button while looking at a powered TV to project into it, shutting the TV off in the process. All survivors within 16 meters of the TV gain condemned progress, and a fully condemned survivor is revealed by killer instinct and can be killed once downed. Survivors can temporarily turn off TVs with the retrieve tape action. This adds condemned progress to the survivor. While holding a tape, the survivor can continue turning off other TVs, further gaining condemned for doing so. One specific TV will have its aura highlighted to the survivor. This TV allows the survivor to spread the Onryō's message by inserting their tape, and doing so removes some condemned progress. So there'll be a meter around the survivors that will mimic like the 7 days action, and grabbing the tape will start your condemn. And if you get to 7, then Sadako is going to be able to see you and then can down you and kill you instantly. Kind of similar to a Myers tombstone in a way, where they can just take you right out of the game whether you've been hooked at all or not. So that's pretty powerful. A lot of people feel like this the condemned is too slow and isn't very fearful. I ran around with tapes in my hand, and you just keep your eye on your meter, and I never really felt like I was in danger of becoming condemned. That may be something that we see them buff, but this is such a powerful mechanic to be able to take survivors out of the game that I think the devs erred on the side of caution initially to see how it plays out amongst the community, rather than, you know, come out of the gate selling a bill of goods of a killer that looks very strong and ends up having to get nerfed because they realize later that the condemned is too strong. So I think they erred on the side of caution, and it's not very powerful right now, but I would not be surprised to see it get buffed, to see the levels of the 7 days of the curse accrue more quickly. So we'll see what happens right now, but it's an interesting mechanic for sure. Her ability to project into a TV across map helps her with the gen pressure, and it also, if there are any survivors near that area, they're going to gain some more stacks of that condemned to get them closer to their 7 days to be able to be fully condemned and taken out of the game. So I think probably what you're going to see survivors doing is looking to see if there's a TV near a generator that they're doing and turn it off so that she won't be able to teleport there, but they're going to gain stacks of condemned for doing that. So, you know, it's going to be a trade-off. As a survivor, you're alerted right away when you take the tape out of the first TV you try to turn off. So you see where it is as soon as you pull the tape, and then that specific television stays lit up until you put the tape in that VCR connected to that TV. Okay, so for Sadako's 3 unique and teachable perks, the first one we have here is Scourge Hook, Floods of Rage. You form a psychic connection with the entity and alter the rules of the trial. At the start of the trial, up to 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks, and you'll see their auras in white. When a survivor is unhooked from a Scourge Hook, all other survivors have their auras revealed for 5 seconds. I believe this is up to 7 seconds at tier 3. This is the description for tier 1. I don't think this is particularly useful. I'm not sure. I don't see myself using it, I think I get a lot of information from barbecue to leave someone who is hooked and go find another survivor. I mean, I guess if I'm on my way to that survivor and then they unhook the survivor that I've hooked, I would get even more information about the location of the survivor that I'm trying to track down, but I don't think I can see myself using this perk very much. The next one, the Call of Brine, this might be my favorite of the three. So this one says your psychic abilities influence technology in devastating ways. After damaging a generator, this perk becomes active for 60 seconds. The generator regresses at 150% of the normal regression speed, and its aura is revealed to you. Each time a survivor completes a good skill check on a generator affected by this perk, you'll receive a loud noise notification. So this is up to 200% regression, so this will double the regression speed after you kick a gen. I think that's pretty valuable, and then you're going to get those loud noise notifications when people are hitting the skill checks on those gens that you've damaged, so that one's pretty valuable. I think that's probably your best perk. Initially, I thought that this Merciless Storm was her best perk, but I don't think so anymore, having played the chapter quite a bit. Merciless Storm, your horrible trauma is felt by everyone. When a generator reaches 90% progress, survivors working on the generator will be faced with continuous skill checks. This is akin to those yellow glyph challenges, if you've ever done those in the Rift, where you have to hit like 10 skill checks in a row, rapid succession to complete your glyph challenge. That's what it's like when you get to this 90%. If they miss or stop repairing, the generator is blocked for 16 seconds. It becomes blocked for 20 seconds at tier 3. And Merciless Storm can only trigger once per generator per trial. So I thought that this was the most powerful of them, but in hindsight, I don't really think this is enough. I think this perk needs something else, and I'll tell you why. So if I can hit all my skill checks, it does nothing to me. So you have to assume that I'm not going to be good enough to hit any of these skill checks. Let's say that's true and I missed the skill check. For the first bit, I could not complete one of these Merciless Storms. I kept on missing one of the skill checks, and then the gens cut off. Now remember, when the entity closes off a gen, it can't be regressed. Even if the killer has Ruin, once the entity claws are around a generator, Ruin is not being applied to this generator. The killer also won't be able to kick the gen. So the gen is basically like I did Repressed Alliance myself on it, and the killer can't do anything to it. So it just sits there closed off, and I have to wait it out. 20 seconds isn't a really long time. If she can come over and chase me away, one of my teammates can rotate to it and finish it, because she's either going to chase me or she's going to stick around and wait and kick it, which I don't know if that's the best use of her time, but the gen is at 90%, so it's almost done. If she's in mid-chase while this is happening, I just stick around. Maybe I'll cleanse a totem, maybe I'll search a chest, maybe I'll heal a teammate, and then I'll just finish the gen. Remember, the Merciless Storm only happens once, so once I've waited it out, I can't get another Merciless Storm on that gen. So I just hang around for 20 seconds and then I finish it normally. Again, that's assuming that I missed a skill check in the first place. So I don't think this is very powerful. I think that this should be buffed in that if I miss one of those skill checks, there should be some severe penalty decreasing the amount of progress. Because right now, the entity preserves the progress that I have on the gen. They just close it off to me. So it's a gen that's nearly done, and the entity is protecting it for me. The killer can't come and kick it. So I don't really like this perk as much as I did initially. I think it needs a little something else. I don't know. That's my opinion on that one. Okay, so that's my walkthrough of Sadako, the Onryō. I think she's an amazing character. I love what they've done visually, even all this static effect, the effects in game, all of her stuff where she never actually touches anybody. She uses all of her telekinetic abilities, even bending the hooks down to her so that she can hoist the survivors up. It's all a really nice touch. She is an incredibly well-designed character visually. She's fun to play as and against. As I said, we'll see if that condemn gets a little bit of a tweak, but I love that she can teleport to the other TVs to project herself out of those areas and get a bit of map coverage out of that. I think she's really well designed. Maybe just needs a little bit of a tweak. And now we're just gonna wait for her to jump scare us, because this is an amazing jump scare here in the lobby while you wait. So hopefully she'll come up close and personal and say hello to us. But I think she's a lot of fun, and I look forward to her full release, and I can't wait to see what else the devs have in store for us, because Dave said more surprises to come. Now I don't know if he was talking about the well animation or this jump scare in the lobby, exactly what he means, or if there's going to be even more on release day. But it sure has been fun playing the PTB. I really enjoyed it. Even all these lobby animations where she does these projections and it's all like different pieces of the curse, like that last one that she did was I think that's her name in the eye from the tape. The tape played, oh, there she is, hi. It doesn't get old. The tape, the way they've transferred that to the TVs in the game, is just really beautifully well done. I hope that this runs smoothly on consoles, because it looks great on PC, and I can't wait for it to come out. But alright, since she's been here and she said hello to us, oh, that's the other thing. I wish it did it in game, but see, her, I have it equipped, but it doesn't show in lobby. But this is actually her prestige, and in game, when you play as her and you use your psychic strike here, this is actually red in game. I wish it was red here in the lobby too, but maybe that's something that they'll change to come. But when she casts out, it isn't red here, but it looks really cool in game. When the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, that's really cool. But it's well done. I can't wait to see the whole release, and I look forward to it coming out on March the 8th. Now we'll go and we'll talk about Yoichi, but this video's gone on long enough. We'll leave that for a separate video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate your time spent here, and don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Did you want to say goodbye to Sadako? No? She's good. She's spent a lot of psychic energy. She needs to go lay down now. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life